For some reaction to all of these race and market developments, let's bring in the former SEC Chair Jay Clayton, who's also a CNBC contributor. First of all, set the scene for us. When you're watching these returns coming in, are you correlating what you're seeing with the markets with the so-called Trump trade?
Well, I think what we saw with almost all those markets was pretty correlated moves, including the prediction market. So right around 10 o'clock, the prediction market moved. And markets don't trade on certainty. They trade on probability of future events. I think we've seen all the markets move. And maybe it's the Trump trade. I think that's the market sentiment. But it's also a certainty trade. Like, a lot of people went into this day saying, will we have an outcome on Wednesday? Will we have an outcome on Thursday? Are we going to have a problem? It now looks more certain that we'll have an outcome sooner rather than later. That's good for markets in itself.
We've had very few reports of election abnormalities. There have been a few reports of bomb threats being called in cases where law enforcement said there was not a threat. But so far, we're not seeing a lineup of what we saw in 2020, where it looked like people were going to protest how the process is going. That adds a level of certainty. Having a clear and distinct winner across the nation adds certainty. What about the fact that, at least at this early stage, there is some indication that it could end up, this is a big if, we're still waiting for the poll results to come in from many of the Western states especially, but if there's a red wave, what happens if the Senate, if the House, and the White House are all ending up in a Republican column? Does that create uncertainty?
I don't think at this point, because I think what we heard was we'll probably know the presidential race and the Senate race sooner rather than later. The House races may take a while longer, but you made a great point. The fact that it doesn't look like we're going to have what I would say is strife. Arguments about whether the election was held appropriately or not. If you take those off the table, you're adding certainty. And that helps the markets. I think the markets are showing that right now.
The idea being, I think, Janet,
long may that continue.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think to contest this point, if the poll results and the current trend of the Electoral College and even popular vote were going the other way, if they were going to Vice President Harris sort of as clearly as they appear to be going, at least right now, things can change, to former President Trump, that the markets may be reacting the same way?
That's what I'm saying is that let's make sure that we understand that certainty is as important right now as other factors. And look, I do think markets. Well, let's go through the evening. You guys have the statistics. There are certain markets that are certainly going to favor a Trump victory, and there would be markets, i.e., the solar, that may favor a Harris victory. But right now, I think we're seeing that stability reflected in the marketplace.